Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the hidden DNA that connects literally every single business on the planet. We're talking about the universal blueprint, the secret recipe that every successful venture follows, whether it's a huge tech giant or your favorite local coffee shop. So let's just jump right in with a question. I know, it sounds like a trick question, right? On one hand, you've got a company building revolutionary electric cars and rockets. On the other, you've got a place that just makes a perfect cup of coffee. I mean, they operate on completely different planets and totally different industries. But what if I told you they're both built from the exact same fundamental plan? Because, well, that's the big secret. Underneath it all, beneath the surface of any company, there is a core set of rules, a set of essential components that it needs to exist, to operate, and, to actually succeed. So let's unpack that blueprint piece by piece. Okay, so where does any business actually begin? Before a single product is ever sold or one customer is served, every single business needs a reason to be. This is the spark, right? The initial why. And it turns out there are really four main missions that drive this whole thing. Here they are. These are the four big reasons any business gets off the ground. You can almost think of them as motivations. Now, of course, making a profit is absolutely essential for survival, but that usually happens because the business is crushing it at one of the others. By creating an amazing product, by serving a customer like nobody else, or by spotting an opportunity that everyone else just missed. Let's start with the one that's, make or break, profit. It's really just simple math. The money coming in has to be more than the money going out. And this isn't about being greedy, it's about being sustainable. A business that's constantly losing money, it's just not going to be around for very long. Profit is the fuel that keeps the entire engine running. Simple as that.
So next up, what does a business actually do for you? It's always going to be one of two things. It's either selling you goods or it's providing services. Goods are the physical things you can actually hold and own, like your phone or your sneakers. Services, on the other hand, are things people do for you. Think about getting a haircut or having your car washed. Most businesses focus on one or the other. But yeah, some definitely offer a mix of both.
This right here, this is the absolute heart of everything. You could have the most perfect product in the world and a genius profit plan, but if you don't have a single customer who wants what you're selling, you don't have a business. You just have a hobby. The entire point is to solve a problem for someone or satisfy a need. Customers are the reason for it all. And this is where that entrepreneurial magic happens. Filling a gap in the market is all about seeing what's missing. It's about looking around and spotting a need that nobody else is meeting, and then saying, hey, I can do that. Think about the very first person who came up with a ride-sharing app. Or on a much smaller scale, the very first coffee shop to open up in a brand new neighborhood. That's an entrepreneur in action, right there. So we've got our why, the mission is clear. But what about the what? I mean, what do you actually need to build this thing? The best way to think about it is like a recipe. You need very specific ingredients. And in the world of business, we call these the factors of production. Economists have pretty much boiled it all down to these four essential ingredients. You need raw materials, which they call land. You need human effort and skills, or labor. You need the right tools and money, which is your capital. And finally, you need that secret sauce, enterprise, the vision and the guts to bring it all together. So let's break each of those down. First up is land. Now, this isn't just talking about a piece of property. No, it's every single raw material that comes from the planet. So for McDonald's, it's the farmland they need to grow the potatoes for those famous fries. For a company like Nike, it's the rubber that makes the soles of their shoes. And for a super high-tech company like Tesla, it's the lithium that is absolutely essential for their batteries. Next, we've got labor. And this is all about the people, the human effort, both the physical stuff and the brain power that goes into a business. It's the baristas at Starbucks making your morning coffee, it's the brilliant software engineers at Apple designing the apps you use every day, and it's the checkout staff and delivery drivers who get you your groceries. Every single business relies on people to make it work. The third ingredient is capital. And really, this just means the man-made tools you use to get the job done. What's so cool here is just how different capital can look. For a company like Amazon, capital is very physical. It's giant warehouses, fleets of robots, and delivery vans. But for a digital company like Netflix, their capital is almost invisible. It's this massive, complex network of computer servers and streaming technology. And finally, we get to that magic ingredient, enterprise. This is the person, the entrepreneur, who has the big idea, the vision to combine land, labor, and capital in a totally new way. And crucially, they're the one taking the financial risk to make it all happen. People like Elon Musk, Anita Roddick, or Ben and Jerry are perfect examples. They didn't just manage resources, they created something the world had never seen before.
All right, so we've covered the why and the what. The mission is set, the ingredients are all there, and the business is officially born. But, building it is one thing. Keeping it alive? That's the real challenge.
And that brings us to the final and honestly, maybe the most important part of this whole blueprint, playing the long game. Survival in business isn't a one-time thing. It's about constant movement, constant adaptation. The world around us never, ever stands still, and neither can a business if it wants to make it.
You see, a business is always being pushed and pulled by these powerful outside forces. Customer tastes change. All of a sudden, everyone wants healthier food or eco-friendly products. New competitors pop up, maybe offering something better or way cheaper. New technology can come along and make your way of doing things totally obsolete overnight. And of course, governments are always introducing new laws and regulations you have to follow. A great business has to get really good at navigating all of this chaos.
So, this is where it all comes together. The initial spark, the why, is all about finding an opportunity to help a customer and, of course, make a profit. The what, the method, is about organizing all your resources, your land, labor, and capital to get it done. But the real secret to sticking around for the long haul? It's the ability to adapt to a world that is always, always changing.
And there you have it, the universal blueprint of business. It's a really powerful way to look at how things work. And now that you understand the plan, it really just leaves one last question. What opportunity do you see out there? What gap in the market is just sitting there, waiting for you to fill it?